In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the keyword shortcut feature of Interact AS. With this feature, you can use keyword shortcuts to voice aloud phrases. Plus, you can also have Interact AS automatically expand acronyms. Perhaps you have a welcome message that you'd like to say to each and every customer that comes into your store. Rather than having to repeat this message all the time, you can set up a keyword shortcut so that whenever you say, type, or write the phrase welcome message, then the entire message is displayed and voiced aloud in English or any other language that you have loaded onto your system. You can also use this feature to expand acronyms. Interact AS is all about removing communication barriers, and acronyms can often get in the way of communicating. You may use acronyms within your workplace that all your coworkers know, but a visitor to your office may not be familiar with them. Interact AS can be set up to automatically expand acronyms. So if you use an acronym in your conversation, then the transcript will automatically expand that acronym into its full meaning. Let me show you how it works, and then I'll show you how you can enter your own keyword shortcuts. Let's start with an example where police officers have entered a keyword into their Interact systems. When an officer is making an arrest, it is important that the Miranda rights be read to the individual using precise wording. Rather than memorize or read the wording from a card, officers are using a keyword shortcut. With this shortcut, they can then type or say Miranda rights, and the precise wording is displayed and voiced out loud. Let me show you an example of this. I'll go ahead and turn my microphone on, and then just go ahead and simply say, Miranda rights.
Tiene el derecho a permanecer callado. Todo lo que diga podrá ser usado en su contra en un tribunal. Tiene el derecho a hablar con un abogado y a que esté con usted cuando sea interrogado.
So all I did was say that keyword, and when I did that, then the entire, in this case, Spanish translation of the Miranda rights was voiced out loud. Let's move over to an example where a language module isn't loaded. I'll go ahead and load Interact AS. The Office of Naval Research paid for a significant portion of the development costs of Interact AS. In my presentations, I often say ONR, and many people may not know what that acronym means. So I've entered that into my system. Now, whenever I use the acronym in a presentation, it's automatically expanded into the full words, something like this. Funding for this system was provided by the ONR. So what I said was the acronym ONR, but you can see that that's automatically expanded now into the full words, in this case, the Office of Naval Research. So those are two quick examples of how this works. Let me turn on my microphone here so we can get some closed captioning going here. There, now everything that I'm saying is going to be instantly closed captioned. As I was saying, those were two quick examples of how this keyword recognition feature works. Now I'll show you how you can enter your own keyword shortcuts. Let's say that you are an individual that is hard of hearing and that you do not have the ability to speak. If you find that each time that you are using Interact that you need to give a quick explanation on how the system works, then you can enter a keyword shortcut to do this. An introductory message that tells people that you'll be using Interact to help you communicate. You can do this by clicking on the Configure icon and then going to the Composer page. When you do this, the Composer Editor icon is now displayed. When you click on the Composer Editor icon, you'll see this interface that allows you to add your own keywords to the system. The TMX link is used for sharing your customized vocabulary with other people that are using Interact AS. But for entering keywords, we'll use the other link, the SpeechGear Translation Memory link. There are many languages supported by Interact AS. In this case, we'll be adding keywords to the English to English folder. But if you wanted to, you could add keywords to any of the folders, like the first example I showed you where we added the Miranda rights keyword to the English-Spanish folder. In that case, your keyword generates a Spanish output. But again, you can select to have your keyword translated into any of the languages that you purchased for your system. When you open up the English to English folder, you see that you have two choices. You can choose to add your keywords to a global or a private folder. Global means everyone that uses the computer will be able to use the keywords that you enter, whereas private means just you will be able to use them. Having this option allows you to set up the computer for everyone or to customize it specifically for each individual. In this case, let's use the Global General folder. This is the default folder for Interact AS, and this is where most people will put their keywords. This particular folder has a unique feature from all your other folders, and I'll show you why that is in a few moments. After selecting the folder, you then want to click on the Edit Domain button. You can see I have quite a few keywords in my system. To add a new one, click on the Translation Memory tab. Type your keyword into the source box, in this case, intro message. Then type what you want Interact.as to say when you enter that keyword. Because I'm doing a live recording, I've already typed it out, so I'll just paste it into the window. Let's make that a little bit bigger so you can see it. Click OK and you've just entered your keyword. There's one more step that you need to do. Because we've entered our keyword into the Global General folder, now you can tell Interact.as to start using your keywords by clicking on the Acronym Expansion button. Let's go ahead and do that now. That's over here in the User tab, and right here is that Acronym Expansion. When I turn that off, that's telling Interact.as that you do not want to use the keywords. But let's go ahead and leave it on for now. So now that we've entered our new keyword intro message, I can simply go ahead and say that keyword, and the entire introductory message is going to be voiced out loud. I'll go ahead and show you that now.
I will be using this system to help me communicate with you. Whatever you say is instantly closed captioned, so I can see what you are saying, and whatever I write on the screen is voiced aloud, so you can hear it. Let me show you how it works.
So that's a quick example in this case of entering the keyword intro message, and now whenever I enter that, what you have is this entire message that's going to be displayed and voiced out loud. So as a quick review, with Interact.as's keyword feature, you can enter keyword shortcuts. These can be phrases or acronyms that you commonly use. Place the ones that you always want to use in the Global General folder, and the ones that you only want to use in certain situations in a custom folder that you create. If you're using Interact.as's default keyword folder, remember to go to the User Options page to select the Acronym Expansion button. Again, the default folder for Interact.as is English to English, and you'll want to select the global folder, not the private one. If you want to use a folder other than this default one, say one that just contains your own personal keywords, then in the English to English category use a private folder and name that folder whatever you would like, perhaps something like My Keywords. To tell Interact.as to use that new private folder, go to the Composer page and then click on this icon. When you do that, you can tell Interact.as which language folder to use. All of these settings, including your keywords, which keyword folder to use, and whether the acronym expansion box is selected, these are all saved in your user account. So you just need to set this up one time, and the next time you start Interact.as, everything is automatically configured just how you want it to be. Thanks for watching this video. To learn more about the entire suite of Interact.as products, please visit our website, which is www.auditory-sciences.com.